What's going to be next for Bitcoin, guys? Is it going to be 100k or is it going to be 40k? In today's video, I will be providing you guys with a high time frame Bitcoin and high time frame Ethereum update. First off, guys, let's have a look at this high time frame previous bull market range, in which we can see they have range pivot 1, range pivot 2, and range pivot 3, which is the previous all-time high over here. And then we can even say that we have range pivot number 4 over here, giving us a high probability range on very high time frame. We can see that Bitcoin was struggling to break through that range high area, right? And we know that if price cannot go up, it is super simple, it is going to go down, and it is going to seek for sales and liquidity in order to gain the strength to push towards the upside. So what did price do? We had liquidity resting over here beneath this previous consolidation area, and price made a huge wick into that previous consolidation area. It did not only wick into the liquidity pool, it also wicked into indeed the mid-range over here. And now the fact that we got such a strong bounce over here from off that mid-range is a huge sign of strength to me, and a sign that a potential bottom might be in for the Bitcoin price, because we know that from a basic range perspective, right? If we just quickly draw out a range over here, if price is ranging and we have seen a deviation below the range low, just like we have seen a deviation below the range low over here twice, right? If price is ranging and we deviate beneath it, and then you push up and you push it towards the mid-range, you reclaim the mid-range and you push it towards the range high. If afterwards we are going to test that mid-range area once more, and you hold on to that mid-range area, the next test once again should be indeed the range high. Okay, so the fact that we had such a strong bounce from the mid-range is to me indicating that the price really wants to get another test of indeed that range high area, in which we have a lot of liquidity resting right over here. So that is a big sign of strength to me by Bitcoin. Now the only issue here is, and at first glance this might be an issue, but actually this is a huge potential buy opportunity, is the fact that we have this massive wick over here to the downside for the Bitcoin price. Why is this a massive issue? A lot of people think that wicks mark out potential bottoms and potential tops. But actually, if you have big wicks like we see over here on the daily chart, and also like we can see over here on the weekly chart to the downside, a massive wick, these wicks are actually a big draw on liquidity. What does that mean? It means the price is naturally attracted to those wicks. Why is that the case? Because these wicks, they are indicating too fast of a price movement. And if price is moving too fast into a liquidity pool or into an area where the bigger players inside of this market have a lot of orders, the bigger players, they don't have the time to fill all of their orders, because it actually takes time for their orders to get filled, because those orders are so big and it contains so many orders that it takes time obviously for those orders to get filled. They don't get filled in a minute, in an hour or 2 hours. Sometimes it takes even days to fill all of their orders. So will the market makers, the institutions, the big players in this market really let the price reverse towards the upside, towards brand new all-time highs, maybe even towards 100k, if not all of their orders are being filled? I don't think so. So what do? They push the price back towards that wick, right over here. We are going to mark out the 50% level of that wick over here, the EQ level of that wick, because that's the level where market makers push the price back towards, and they're going to fill that wick for 50%. This is where they are able to finally fill all of the orders before potentially reversing the price back towards the upside, back towards brand new all-time highs. Now another reason why I'm expecting that wick to get filled is because of the fact that over here, slightly above that wick, is where we have a flat daily candle, right? No wick to the downside, but we had a green candle. Now look in the past how many times we were actually seeing flat daily candles to the upside, right? With no wick being created to the downside and the price not filling those candles. Over here, we had a flat daily candle. Look how we've eventually filled that flat daily candle, right? Over here, no wick to the downside, right? Over here, we have another example with this candle, no wick to the downside, right? We push higher, but look how price finally returns back to fill that wickless candle. Right? Over here you can even say that the price made no wick to the downside. Look how price wicked beneath it and then pushed towards the upside, right? Over here once again, we had a flat daily candle, no wick to the downside. Price came back and filled that flat daily candle. So over here, we marked out the flat daily candle. Another reason why price is naturally attracted to the downside first on Bitcoin in my opinion, and then it's going to reverse back up, probably towards new all-time highs. Now there's also the scenario where we are not going to fill that wick for 50%, where we are not going to take out that flat daily candle, but where we are also going to take out the bottom of that wick, right? Because if we really zoom in closely, we can see that this wick actually by a few dollars slightly front-runned that mid-range level. So that basically means that this wick might be acting as an inducement for the mid-range level. So it is very much possible that the price is going to also take out the bottom of that wick into the mid-range, and then reverse the price back towards the upside, back towards new all-time highs for Bitcoin. But the conclusion is, guys, we are still in the middle of a bull market. We are reaccumulating before new all-time highs. If the price of Bitcoin is going to fill either 50% of that wick or 100% of that wick, in my opinion, and this is no financial advice, this will be the last buy opportunity to buy Bitcoin and to buy altcoins before new all-time highs. Now let's dive into the Ethereum chart and provide you guys with some massive buy opportunities on Ethereum as well. Also, Ethereum still trading inside of the previous bull market range with range pivot 1, range pivot 2, 3, 4 and range pivot number 5. Now Ethereum is trading inside of the discounted area of that range, which means that it's a golden buy opportunity, guys. You always want to buy inside of the discount and sell inside of the premium. Now what we can see over here is that Ethereum is currently testing this pivotal quarterly level. We can see that in the past this quarterly level has constantly been providing support and resistance for the Ethereum price, and currently Ethereum is testing that quarterly area. Now what we can also see is that on the daily, Ethereum also put in a massive wick to the downside, right? When we are going to mark out the 50% level of that wick, we can see that Ethereum hasn't filled that wick still for 50%. It only front run the wick for 50% right over here, which means that there's a big draw on liquidity right here for Ethereum. Besides the fact that we have that front run, besides the fact that we have that 50% wick fill level, this low over here is a beautiful liquidity level because of this fake break of structure. This is a fake break of structure, guys, because the high that we break through over here did not bring us to a new low compared to this low that brought us to that high. It only brought us to a higher low. So not a significant high to break, but people are stupid. People think that this is a valid break of structure. So what do? They start longing the consolidation area over here. Where are they going to place their stop loss if they start longing over here? Exactly beneath the low over here, which means that this low over here is, in my opinion, a massive draw on liquidity for Ethereum. So that means that short term, we once again might be expecting slightly more downside. But long term, we are expecting more upside. So what does it mean? How can we execute based off this information? It means that if price is going to take out the low over here, if price is going to tap into that 50% wick fill level over here, it is a beautiful, beautiful buy opportunity. But also, once again, guys, don't forget that we have an unswept massive wick over here and an unswept massive wick over here. So for Ethereum, the exact same thing counts as for Bitcoin. If it fills 50% of the wick on the daily, it is a golden buy opportunity. But also take into account, right, that we might be taking out the bottom of this wick and the bottom of this wick. If that happens, it's an even bigger long-term buy opportunity. Inside of the 50% wick fill levels on both Bitcoin and Ethereum, make sure to wait for confirmations before you start entering leverage long positions. But with spot holdings, spot investments and long-term investments, you can easily buy once the 50% wick fill level gets tagged, and you can easily buy once the 100% wick fill levels get tagged as well. Now let's say Ethereum is indeed going to take that 50% wick fill level over here, and afterwards it's going to pump straight towards new all-time highs. We are looking at a beautiful increase of 117%. Eventually my target for Ethereum lies anywhere around $7,500.